It's been 3 weeks and we still don't have final results from Arizona's 2022 gubernatorial election. And the media is trying to tell us that this is normal. The deep state wants to shove this excrement sandwich down our throats and then have us politely say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" I'm not biting. Are you, America? Rosie the Riveter here, dropping more truth bombs to destroy fake news and propaganda. Before we get started, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Doing so really does help share these videos with others. So let's get into today's riveting topic. Next to President Donald Trump, I would say Kari Lake is probably the deep state's worst nightmare, which is why the election officials are doing everything they can to keep from declaring her the winner of Arizona's gubernatorial race. The fix was in even in the primary. An action to try to prevent fraud was fought against and blocked. Polling places were packed with Democrat poll workers, while candidate Katie Hobbs, the Secretary of State who oversees the elections, refused to recuse herself, despite the obvious conflict of interest. And we're supposed to just blindly accept what she says are the results of an election after 3 weeks of delays, questionable acts, and secrecy? Just like the midterm, results in Arizona's primary were delayed there as well, with skeptics rightfully wondering if they were trying to prevent Kari Lake from winning the nomination at all. The other interesting trend during the primaries was who voted when. Election data showed that 80% of those who voted in person in Maricopa County on primary election day were Republicans. However, just over 23% of Democrats voted in person. Is this why we saw such voting machine issues, overwhelming Democratic poll workers, and general chaos on election day, primarily in the Republican areas? Katie Hobbs needs to address these questions and give Arizonans and Americans sound and honest answers. But Rosie, come on! Even Republican officials in Maricopa County say everything was A-OK. Well, America, you might have teeth to that argument if those same officials hadn't started their own pack to fight against MAGA candidates like Kari Lake. Hey boys, your bias is showing. And should we really be all that surprised, though? This is John McCain territory, ladies and gentlemen. The King Rhino. Remember, he's the one who dropped the Steele dossier, the completely false document used to accuse Trump of Russian collusion. I'm sorry to say, his minions are still in control of Arizona and trying to choose who they want in the positions, not giving a hoot what the people want. Here's the thing. They can prance around, patting themselves on the back, taking pride that they fixed the voting machine problems on election day. But any election official with an ounce of integrity would have properly prepared the machines and the ballots so there wouldn't have even been an issue in the first place. 20%. Let me repeat that. 20% of the precincts were affected. This meant that some voters had to wait hours to cast their vote. Some traveled to other locations, and in some cases multiple locations to vote. Kari Lake even had to do that. Others, because of work and other obligations, had to just walk away without voting at all because they couldn't wait any longer. This is the definition of voter suppression. Of those who were able to vote, 17,000 ballots were rejected by the machines and put in what they called door 3 to be counted by hand. That's 7%, folks. 7%. That number should never be over 1%. And in fact, it should be a fraction of that. Good thing they had all those extra Democratic poll workers, though, isn't it? They were able to count those votes. And even with all the evidence of voting issues, they still couldn't get a judge to extend the voting hours. Too bad they weren't in Georgia, because Stacey Abrams would have been all over that. But in Arizona,
nothing to see here, please.
Runbeck is an election ballot company which produces ballots. A reporter with Real America's Voice posted a video of unaccompanied trucks with ballots going into Runbeck's after the election. The election officials called the police on the journalist, who then escorted him away. Why is this a concern? Because of what we know about Runbeck. A citizen journalist, Ron Watkins, posted this in May of 2021. Here's just a few things that we know about Runbeck. They printed mail-in ballots, gave them to the USPS for delivery, received those ballots back, and then sorted them. That sounds like a lot of control with no oversight. They have partnered with Dominion, Maricopa County, and have allegedly been caught sending pallets of fake ballots to Fulton County, Georgia. Now we have truckloads of ballots going into their facility without any supervision, and those questioning it are the problem? If they aren't doing anything wrong, then why are they so opposed to being watched, especially with something as important as an election? Many of you, I'm sure, are thinking nothing's going to happen, even with all the evidence we have. They're playing the same old games and they're going to get away with it again. Here's why I think this time is a game changer and why Arizona is going to be the first domino to fall in exposing the countrywide election fraud. 2 words. Kari Lake. Kari Lake is a fighter, and she is not going to let her race be stolen from her. More and more evidence of voter irregularities, errors, and fraud are surfacing every day. Arizona citizens are getting involved and speaking out about the problems they saw on election day. Kari Lake's campaign is gathering all the information that thousands of voters are sharing, including that their vote is not showing up online as being counted, as well as whistleblowers bringing forth information of voter fraud. And the kicker? It has been reported that the RNC has attorneys watching over 100 voting locations and collected their own evidence as it happened on election day. This time, Kari's campaign was proactive in monitoring the election and gathering the evidence in real time. And this time, nothing is going to stop it from being exposed. The lawsuits are prepared and they're ready to go. That being said, I know many of you are skeptical, as Arizona conducted a highly anticipated audit during the summer of 2021 that finally produced a report in August on the 2020 election that seemed to fall flat. Despite the report being packed with evidence showing voter fraud, those in control did not care, the media ignored it, and nothing was done. But here's why I'm optimistic. They were able to disregard it then. But once the evidence for 2022 is produced in court, I have every confidence that either Kari or someone just as involved will pull that report out from 2021 and say, you know what? All of these same issues happened in 2020 also. With that, all the irregularities cannot be brushed off as one-off anomalies. There is a pattern. And where there is a pattern, you have purposeful fraud, especially when that pattern is exposed in multiple states. Once that happens, evidence discovered in Wisconsin, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Nevada, as well as other states, will flood the news. The legacy media will not be able to stop it. The evidence was collected and reported on in 2020 and 2021, but the mainstream media not only refused to care, they demonized anyone who did. There was a time when the people denied Noah's claims of a flood coming until they saw the waters rise. An information flood is coming, and unfortunately, many are going to drown. Democrats and the media insist that we must demand that every vote count or we lose our democracy, even though we're republic. They went overly heavy on this talking point this last midterm, which I addressed in an earlier video. So, okay, mainstream media. Okay, Stacey Abrams. Okay, AOC. Put your money where your mouth is. Voter suppression will not be tolerated, right? America, question the politicians and demand these irregularities in Arizona be investigated and addressed, and then watch their reactions. It'll be all you need to know as to who they really are and what they really believe. I'm Rosie the Riveter, and that's my 2 cents. But what do you think? Leave your comments down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell while you're down there to get more videos when they are uploaded. Make no mistake, we are in an information war, and our weapon is the truth. Find it. If you don't know where to start, begin at thefactspaper.com, where I have thousands of links to articles fighting fake news and propaganda, including those noted in this video. Investigate and discover the truth for yourself. The fight is tough, and the fight is hard, but we are winning. The light of truth will destroy the evils of darkness. Come on, patriots. We can do it.